For centuries, America has been a land of secrets, legends, and mysteries that seemed impossible to explain. From explorers who vanished without a trace, to ghostly lights dancing over deserts, hidden treasures buried beneath the earth, and colossal skeletons that sparked wild tales. These stories have captivated generations. But now, science is finally stepping in. Using DNA analysis, deep-sea sonar, satellite imaging, and forensic archaeology, researchers are uncovering the truth behind these long-standing enigmas. Today, we count down 10 hidden American mysteries that science is finally explaining. From 10 down to 1. Prepare to have your mind blown by the astonishing discoveries that prove truth is often stranger than fiction. And before we dive in, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Mystery Lane so you never miss a journey into history's most fascinating mysteries. At number 10, the giant skeletons of America. Imagine stumbling across a skeleton over 7 feet tall. In 19th century America, such discoveries made headlines and fueled wild speculation. For centuries, reports of giant skeletons circulated. From newspaper clippings to archaeological dig sites, people whispered of a forgotten race of giants that once walked this land. While many of these finds were misidentified mastodon bones or exaggerated stories, some truly tall humans, 6 to 7 feet, did exist, particularly in native mound sites. Their unusual height likely inspired legends of giants. Even George Washington stood over 6 feet tall, towering over his peers, adding to the fascination with unusually tall figures in early America. Could these giants have been real? Or was it all a mix of myth, misidentification, and human imagination? Science now weighs in, and the answers may surprise you. Fun fact: some 19th century anthropologists believed giants were evidence of lost civilizations hidden in North America. The Smithsonian faced decades of conspiracy theories claiming they were hiding giant skeletons, but no evidence supports this. Modern DNA studies reveal these skeletons were genetically normal humans, showing just how imagination and exaggeration can create legends. Tall individuals in history, like Abraham Lincoln and other leaders, may have amplified the fascination with giants. At number 9, Lake Michigan's Bermuda Triangle. Imagine sailing across Lake Michigan and suddenly your compass spins wildly, the skies darken and waves crash like never before. Over 1,500 ships have met their fate here, earning the lake the nickname of a freshwater Bermuda Triangle. Pilots and sailors have reported mysterious vanishings, including the tragic Flight 2501 in 1950, which disappeared without a trace, leaving investigators baffled for decades. Even cargo ships were not safe. The Christmas tree ship, the Rouse Simmons, sank in 1912 while transporting a festive load of evergreens. Its cargo washed ashore for weeks, fueling tales of ghostly Christmas trees appearing mysteriously along the coastline. Were these disappearances supernatural, or could science finally solve the mystery? From magnetic anomalies that briefly confuse compasses, to sudden violent storms and treacherous inland tides, most vanishings have logical explanations, but the stories and eerie accounts continue to fascinate. The Great Lakes are so massive, they act like inland seas, producing currents and weather patterns as dangerous as the ocean. Sediment shifts on the lake floor can cause shipwrecks to resurface decades later, making old disasters seem fresh and fueling ghost stories. Some pilots reported seeing unexplained lights over the lake at night, likely reflections but enough to keep the legends alive. Even today, modern sonar scans continue to uncover long-lost wrecks, confirming that Lake Michigan still guards its secrets. At number 8, the Oak Island mystery. Deep in Nova Scotia, Oak Island has baffled treasure hunters for over 200 years. Tales of buried gold, pirate loot, and mysterious artifacts have fueled countless expeditions, and a treasure hunt that still continues today. But beneath the legends, what is really hidden in the infamous Money Pit? Early explorers claimed the pit contained tunnels, flood traps, and even coded messages hinting at untold wealth. Coconut fibers were found deep underground, initially interpreted as evidence of pirates. But modern science suggests they were likely carried in by trade or floodwaters. LiDAR scans reveal natural limestone caverns misread as man-made structures. In fact, much of the so-called Money Pit is a natural geological formation, cleverly disguised by human imagination and local lore. Could the treasure ever have existed? Or was it all a story that grew bigger with each generation? Even Franklin Roosevelt, long before becoming president, invested in an Oak Island dig. showing how this legend captured the imaginations of the world's most influential figures. Many inscriptions and symbols found on the island were likely hoaxes designed to attract investors. Modern treasure hunters still scour the island with ground-penetrating radar, metal detectors and sonar, but no definitive treasure has been found. Oak Island remains a symbol of humanity's fascination with mystery and the eternal hope that somewhere, hidden riches await. Oak Island inspired TV shows, books, and even board games, keeping the legend alive in the 21st century. At number 7, local legends, Hex Hollow and the Red Dwarf. Across America, some places are shrouded in whispers and eerie stories. In Pennsylvania, Hex Hollow became infamous after a sensational 1928 witchcraft murder trial. Locals claimed curses, hexes, and strange happenings plagued the area. Meanwhile, over Michigan's Great Lakes, sailors spoke of a mysterious red dwarf, an ominous red light that appeared before shipwrecks and storms, seemingly warning of impending danger. For decades, these tales terrified locals and travelers alike. But modern science uncovers the truth. Forensic archaeology links Hex Hollow stories to actual historical events, while the red dwarf sightings can be explained by optical illusions caused by stormlight, atmospheric refraction, and the eerie reflection of distant lights on fog and waves. Still, not everything is easily explained. Even today, visitors report strange sounds, glowing lights, and fleeting shadows, remnants of legends that refuse to die. Could these be echoes of the past, or just the imagination of those who wander too close to the unknown? Fun fact: screech owls, fog, and shifting light patterns often create eerie, human-like sounds that fueled local myths. The Great Lakes' immense size and volatile weather can produce natural light phenomena, from mirages to faint glowing apparitions. Hex Hollow and the Red Dwarf continue to attract paranormal enthusiasts and historians alike. At number 6, the Baby Garnet cold case. Imagine stumbling across the remains of a child and facing a decades-old mystery that seems unsolvable. That was the case of Baby Garnet. Found by hikers, her identity remained a haunting question for years, puzzling investigators and communities alike. For decades, the trail went cold. Speculation ran wild. Some thought she was connected to a traveling circus, others feared darker possibilities. But the real breakthrough came with modern forensic genealogy and DNA databases. Scientists and investigators traced her genetic links to living relatives, finally giving a name and a story to Baby Garnet. Her story doesn't just solve a mystery. It rewrites family histories, connects lost branches of generations, and proves that even decades-old cold cases can be solved when science meets determination. Forensic genealogy has solved hundreds of cold cases worldwide since 2018, revolutionizing criminal investigations. Baby Garnet's case inspired renewed interest in other long-unsolved mysteries across the US. The successful identification provided long-awaited closure to families who had wondered for decades about missing relatives. This case shows how technology can transform tragedy into resolution, even decades after the fact. At number 5, the Ice Age diet of ancient Americans. Imagine stepping back 12,500 years into Ice Age America, where survival was a daily battle against the elements and colossal creatures. The discovery of Anzic 1, a child buried long ago in Montana, provides an unprecedented glimpse into what life and death looked like for early Americans. Analysis of Anzic 1's bones reveals traces of mammoth and bison, while dental plaque uncovers a surprising variety of plants. Hearths near the burial site show early humans were not just hunters. They were also sophisticated cooks, roasting seeds and roots over fire. And the Clovis spear points buried with the child suggest highly coordinated strategic big-game hunts, hinting at advanced social organization for such an ancient time. This tiny child's remains tell a story far larger than life, a society mastering some of North America's most dangerous predators, adapting to extreme climates, and creating a diet that sustained survival for generations. Science is unraveling secrets once lost to the Ice Age. Anzic 1 carries the oldest complete human genome in the Americas, giving scientists a genetic window into migration patterns and ancestry. Metabolic genes linked to high-protein diets from Ice Age populations persist in some modern Native American populations, connecting past to present. Clovis spear points indicate early teamwork and strategy, while evidence of seasonal diet variation shows a deep understanding of the ancient environment. At number 4, the shipwreck of Captain Goodsell. Picture this. A ship vanishes into the cold waters of the Atlantic in the 1830s, leaving no trace of its captain or crew. For nearly 200 years, the fate of Captain Goodsell and his vessel remained a haunting mystery, whispered in maritime lore and local legend. Despite centuries of uncertainty, modern science brought the story to light. Degraded DNA extracted from personal artifacts, shoes, clay pipes, and buttons, confirmed the identity of the ship, and even revealed details about its crew. Remarkably, shipworms that had eaten through the wood preserved just enough evidence to make this identification possible. Artifacts recovered show intimate glimpses of everyday life: worn shoes, personal pipes, and crew buttons. Even more intriguing, locals reported ghostly lights and apparitions at the wreck site. While some saw spirits, science suggests these eerie phenomena were inspired by the wreck itself, the shifting currents and flickering lights underwater, a perfect blend of fact and legend. This discovery shows how modern techniques can solve centuries-old maritime mysteries, turning folklore into verified history. At number 3, Secrets of Jamestown. Jamestown, Virginia, the first permanent English settlement in America, was meant to be a beacon of hope. Instead, it became a story of unimaginable hardship. Settlers faced famine, disease, and brutal winters that tested their very survival. For decades, the darkest secrets of Jamestown were lost to history, until modern science began to uncover them. DNA and isotope analysis of skeletal remains revealed shocking truths. Evidence of cannibalism during the infamous starving time, diets dominated by corn and meat, and genetic links connecting these early settlers to modern Americans. These discoveries not only solve historical mysteries, they shine a light on the extraordinary resilience of people who faced extreme conditions. Imagine enduring months of starvation, resorting to acts once unimaginable, and yet laying the genetic foundation for generations to come. Jamestown's story isn't just about survival. It's about the persistence of humanity under the harshest conditions. Fun fact: settlers brewed beer from corn and persimmons, one of America's earliest experiments in homebrewing, likely providing essential calories and nutrients. Some settlers displayed traits of European gentry, hinting at the diverse social backgrounds of the early colonists. Archaeological evidence reveals careful planning in the settlement's defenses, even under famine conditions. Analysis of bone chemistry shows seasonal variations in diet, reflecting how settlers adapted to the environment to survive. At number 2, the Lost Colony of Roanoke, 1587. Over 100 English settlers arrive on Roanoke Island, hoping to build a new life in the New World. Months later, they vanish, without a trace. The only clue left behind, the word Croatoan carved into a post. For centuries, historians and treasure hunters have wondered what really happened to them. Recent archaeology and DNA studies provide a startling answer. The settlers likely assimilated with the Croatan tribe. Artifacts, including ceramics showing a blend of European and native techniques, reveal integration rather than disappearance. Even John White's historic map contains hidden symbols, like a fort, hinting at where the settlers may have sought refuge. Some legends even elevated Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America, into a mystical figure, sometimes depicted as a white deer, a symbol of hope and mystery. What started as a chilling disappearance turns into a story of cultural blending, survival, and unexpected connections across centuries. Genetic evidence links some modern descendants to Roanoke settlers, confirming assimilation rather than total disappearance. The Croatoan carving may have been a message pointing towards safety with the Croatan people. Folklore and myth around Roanoke fueled countless books, plays, and even TV adaptations. Archaeological digs continue to uncover European tools, pottery fragments, and post holes that match settlement patterns described in early maps. At number 1, Amelia Earhart's disappearance. Perhaps the most enduring mystery in American history, Amelia Earhart. In 1937, she vanished mid-flight over the Pacific, sparking decades of speculation, conspiracy theories, and daring search missions. Where did she go and what really happened? Fast forward to 2024. Sonar scans revealed a plane-shaped object near Howland Island. Meanwhile, bones found on Nicumaroro Island match her approximate height and build, and decades-old radio distress signals align with the theory that she crashed there. Modern science is piecing together the evidence that eluded investigators for nearly a century. Earhart wasn't just a pioneering pilot. She was a symbol of courage and adventure. Her lucky airplane charm bracelet carried on every flight became a talisman of hope. The US spent over $4 million searching for her, making it the most expensive rescue operation of its era. And yet, even with all this effort, the mystery endured, until science began to illuminate the truth. Fun fact: Earhart was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic, breaking barriers and inspiring generations. Some historians believe she survived for days on a small island before succumbing to exposure. Her disappearance inspired countless books, documentaries, and global expeditions. Modern forensic techniques like DNA and sonar imaging are finally bringing closure to one of aviation history's greatest mysteries. From vanished explorers to ancient hunters, from cold cases solved by DNA to optical illusions once called supernatural, America's hidden mysteries teach us one thing: the past never stays buried. Science doesn't take away the wonder, it deepens it. Which mystery amazed you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more journeys where science meets legend. Fading to black for credits.